What's happening, guys? Alright, so giving a little mini update. Nothing really much, but just a little bit. So the vacuum lines, I have 100% sourced it, cut them, sized them, everything. So that line to from the boost tree is gonna run into that port right here. Then this line right here from that port is gonna run to the brake booster, and I think this one is for the fuel regulator, and everything else is capped off 100%. So the only thing that I am waiting on right now, I need a new gasket for here, and then I could be able to 100% install this. So I need the new intake manifold gasket, that's one. Then I'm gonna need the new wire set to run all the spark plug wires, all that, that's two. Then I'm gonna need two more gaskets for the EGR spacer and then the throttle body to pop back on. And then also I'm gonna need to get the block off plate for the EGR spacer because the EGR is completely gone. Then once that's back on, technically I can do a first startup on the car. I still got to put the oil drain plugs back, I still got to dump the gas, I still got to run a vacuum line from the turbo right here straight to the wastegate. I'm gonna do that temporarily for now because the spring I have in the wastegate, I think I mentioned it before, it's the softest spring that came in the kit, so it's not gonna really do too much. Then I gotta do that, and you know, just for first startup wise, like bare bones, you know, put coolant in here. Won't need a belt just yet, but new battery. So as long as it had, and then I gotta drain the fuel from the gas tank, shit's gotta get drained out. Coolant, gotta put oil in it, put the drain plugs back, get the battery. Then, you know, we could do a first startup and see how it goes, and then from there could go ahead and finish everything else. Obviously I still have to put the passenger side, coach side piping, and then I have to do that first before I even try to put the hood dump going, because I need to see if I need to I have a feeling, now that I'm looking, I'm probably gonna need to cut it a little bit more. Probably gotta cut it just a little bit shorter. That's for the mass airflow, so I'm probably gonna need to cut it just a little bit shorter, but that's currently where we are with it right now, in between. So I just need to get the gaskets so I can at least put the intake back on, because that's ready to go. And then once I put the intake back on, then I'm gonna run the get the spark plug wires, and then just little by little start dotting the I's and crossing the T's, because now it's just all like the real little petty stuff. The biggest thing that was pretty much like I say gonna be real annoying was the whole vacuum line deal, but now that I found what was what, and you know what's gonna get blocked off, what's gonna get plumbed, now I'm pretty much good to go. Like that was the biggest pain in the ass. I think worry got that done with, solved. Now I can move on. So this is where we at with it, guys. This is where she sits, this is where she stays at right now. We're almost there, almost done. Trust me, we're gonna hit the mark. June, the engine will start and run. That was by June. Now in terms of it being drivable, I didn't really put a date on that, but we're getting there. Just stay tuned, guys. I appreciate all the love and support, but this is where we're at. It's crazy how much progress we made in 3 months. What is going on, guys? Coming at you with the late, well, not late night, but it's nighttime. Coming at y'all with a nighttime. I got bored, and I figured let me go ahead and get a little bit of work done. all I simply did. This is just gonna be all like the little updates of all like the little tiny stuff in between of like the bigger stuff, because the next big thing that needs to get done is just pretty much the cold side piping getting ran. But for now, I got the new intake manifold gasket. I still have the old one. It just had like a slight crack in it, and like don't get me wrong, the gasket is like mad sturdy, feels like metal-ish, but still seeing the crack in it, I was like, nah, I didn't feel too comfortable. So they're cheap. It was 12 bucks, bought a brand new one, and they look exactly the same, so it's not like I got anything cheaper than what was already being ran. Got that in there. All the bolts are completely secured, not missing none. Even the 2 bolts under here, I found the old screws. I was able to get this one broke off. I was able to drill that out, get that all out, but unfortunately I broke off the corner in order to pop the cover off for the other ones and move it out the way to get to the 2 bolts underneath. And the 2 lines are ran. So yeah, whatever. So I got 1 line ran to the boost tree, to the vacuum tree. I got 1 line ran to the brake booster. All the other lines are capped off. Got the fuel regulator vacuum line plugged in to where it's supposed to be. So literally everything is where it's supposed to be in terms of the intake. So that is done. And yeah, so there we are. Just a little mini update, just touching in. I'm getting all tight, just doing all this like little stuff in between. So yeah, now I just gotta get the gasket for the spacer, and I think I need to get a gasket for the throttle body to go on the spacer. And once that's done, then we're gonna start having more fun. But now now that it's getting towards the end, I'm definitely trying to take my time just a little bit more, like slowly, precautious, and you know, I'm not setting up the camera and y'all can see everything that I'm doing. I'll just show you after, because I need to focus, make sure every little thing is plugged in and going where it's supposed to, and making sure everything is getting done right and correctly. So there you go, guys. I'll catch you in the next update, next little mini clip. All right, there's been probably like about a week maybe from the last clip. So you just got in, finally got the new spacer for there, new spacer between here, because you need a spacer that goes between the EGR and the intake, and then the throttle body and the other side of the EGR. Everything is fully bolted down. Bolts for the brackets right there. So I got to delete this. This is part of the EGR, TPMS. That's in. Still need to get the block off plate over here, and I have to, I believe, cap this side. Yep, I think I have to cap off this side, cap off this side, and that is it. Pedal works. I just I never unplugged, really touched anything crazy. But that's back working. I tested the pedal real quick. And then looking down there, I just realized that I need 2 of these damn bolts for the valve cover, or else I think that shit's gonna leak. So that's the next thing I gotta find. I've been going through all my bolts trying to find if I got the right size or not, but there we are, guys. It is on, so now I can start pretty much mocking up the well, not mocking up, but the main thing I want to see is just get this elbow on. Where is it going? Cold side, so then I can remeasure the hood exit, but that's gonna be for a later day. One thing at a time. I'm trying to take my time as we're getting towards the end. I sped up a little bit, but now we're gonna take our time. But there we are. Throttle body, EGR spacer, intake manifold. We are all good to go. Alright, guys. It's like a few weeks later. I think a couple weeks. So I just did the wire set right now. It looks crazy. There's like wires everywhere. I found on Amazon the organizer, so you can put all the wires together with heat sleeves. I gotta order that, but that is all ran, and I probably need to, I'll probably put the in terms of length of the wires, there's a good chance I put the longest ones on the wrong one. There's a slight chance, but I got it from AutoZone, the wire set from AutoZone. There's a good chance I'm gonna need to probably do an exchange once the car fires up, because this wire set doesn't feel good at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. 40 bucks, you know, you get what you pay for real. But there it is, it's all wired up. So now literally the only thing stopping it from a true first start is the battery, some oil, and some coolant, and that's it, man. And damn, the belt, you gotta figure out that belt size shit. But look at that. Ooh, buddy, we like 90% there now. 95% there. So excited. Yeah, I had to look up the wire order too for the 302, make sure I do it right. Damn. Alright, my memory card don't want me to be great, but I'm just doing this like little check-ins in and out. I'm gonna just make this one big completion video for the Fox body. Went in, finally got a battery, and when I plugged it in, it did nothing, like absolutely nothing, right? And I'm like, damn, I messed up the wiring, I did something wrong with the electrical, whatever, right? I thought I did something, you know, I did do something wrong, but I thought it was gonna be a lot major than what it was. So I'm looking around, I'm poking, I'm prodding, I'm trying to figure out, you know, I went in, I turned the key, and you know, it made no noise at all. You open up the door, no noise, you put the key in, no noise, no nothing, right? So I'm like, damn. I charged the battery, I did it a jump thinking the battery was too dead. Nope. Long story short, so me doing this backyard wire tuck, I didn't understand how the wiring diagram works for what goes where and why, in terms of even why the solenoid is positioned the way it is. So I had the solenoid like completely upside down. That's one thing. Then I had on this ground port, on this ground right here, I had all the accessories when it's only supposed to be on the positive over here on this side. The ignition switch is fine, I actually repaired it, I remember I did. And actually also I ended up looking over here, I had this one pinned wrong, even though I don't think that did anything yet because I didn't get to crank it over, but it's a good thing I fixed that because I'm pretty sure I would have never cranked properly. And then yeah, camera's about to die, but see if I can hurry up and put the key in so you guys can hear it. Hey, before the camera dies. So at least we know she's good to start. And I think today is the day, guys. We got everything that we need to do the first startup on the Mustang. I got my sidekick with me. Hold on, mommy. There was up. We got 93. We got at least 4 gallons of it. Got coolant, oil, new belt. I'm gonna put the belt on first. Well, I'll probably put the oil in first, let the oil settle because it's been dry for about 1.5 years. So I'm gonna put the oil in first, let that settle. Then while that's doing its thing, I am going to be putting the belt on, figuring this whole thing out, loosen it up. So I was trying to do a little bit yesterday. And then while we get the belt on, once that's settled, then we're gonna put some coolant in the radiator, and we're gonna do try the first startup, see how it goes. What happened? Wow. What a way to find out. Jesus, that was way too difficult. Alright guys, gas is loaded up, oil, coolant is in. See how it goes. That was weird. So put everything on Lace Electrical, seems like it works. Put the key in, makes its noises, lights come on, yada yada. I push the clutch all the way in. I never touch the clutch or anything. Put the clutch all the way in, turn the key, and it does absolutely nothing. All it says is check oil, but it has oil, it has a new oil filter. We just put oil in it, which is why I was trying to let the oil sit for a little bit. In terms of battery life, it wasn't that high up there. Wasn't even halfway, so I don't know if that could be the problem. Never touched the starter. I mean, we got the new alternator, but everything is, you know, bolted down where it's supposed to be. I mean, I got all the connections hooked up to where it's supposed to go. So it could either be the starter solenoid, because it's not making no noises at all, like nothing. Sorry about my daughter in the back. It's got my sidekick with me today. So usually if it's a dead battery, it would make some type of clicking noise. It didn't even attempt to turn over. So I'm really confused on what it could be. I'm like not even trying to turn over, and you know, when I turn the key all the way in, all it says is you know, like the check oil light comes on for some reason, and then nothing else. Like it's saying that it has no oil at all. There's no oil leaking. So I don't know if it's because it's been dry for so long that it really thinks that there's like no oil in it. What I'm about to try right now is to get my other car and put the jumper cables onto the battery, see if that does anything, just to try that. And if that doesn't work, then it's going to be back to the drawing board to try to figure out what's causing it to not even crank over, because it's not even, it didn't even attempt to crank. I don't know if I got to get more oil, put more oil in it. The gas gauge went up, so the gas is in there, that's good to go. Everything is plugged back in for the most part. Like all electrical connections are plugged in, the wire says there, new wire set, new spark plugs, oil filter, oil, got the radiator, everything hooked up. You know, I flipped around the wires, got a new ignition coil, fixed that plug. Well, not fixed it, but repinned it, put it back. A few hours later, I got the new starter solenoid relay. They keep saying that this might be the problem, so we're gonna swap it out and find out. I got the smaller size belt, the 83-inch. 83-inch belt don't work. Just a quick update for y'all. I'm probably gonna end up doing a real drastic jump. I'm probably gonna drop another, I'm probably gonna go 2 inches down. So I'm probably gonna try to find like an 81. Because there's still like a lot of slack. So I'm probably gonna do a real drastic jump and go all the way down to 81 and then go from there. But now that that's out the way, I'm gonna spend my time making sure I carefully let me disconnect the battery before I even touch all them electrical units. So now I'm gonna get the new starter solenoid on, button everything up, and then pray to God that she turns over. You know, she at least tries to start. What's up, guys? Next day. Said I wasn't gonna do it, but we're doing it. So right here we are still at no start. I found out I got spark. We have spark at least coming from the coil. I still need to check to see if we have spark coming from the distributor, but we got no fuel going into the rail at all. I thought we had fuel just because I popped a little pressure cap and whatever, but we got no fuel running to the rails. I did a test this morning. I got a new relay to see if it's the fuel pump relay, and then we're gonna try to do start again, or at least try to see if I hear the fuel pump this time. Alright, so it's in. Say maybe an hour plus, I've gotten nowhere. I'm stuck. I don't know what the, why isn't it? Yeah, whatever. I'm stuck, don't know what to do. Like, I mean, I'm reading everything online, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all, like, when it comes to a lot of electrical work, I'm not that good. So I don't know what I did in terms of, because I did the wire tuck. I know I clipped out a bunch of wires that were like hanging around useless like a year ago underneath the dash. There's a good chance I could have clipped something that that my uncle, because this car has been in my family. It was my uncle's, then my dad's, now mine's. I don't know, whatever they did, if I undid something that they did that was like, they tried to bypass some shit and I cut the bypass or something, like, because they made it look like shit. So I thought I was getting rid of nothing that was shit. I think that's why I'm in the situation that I'm in right now. But I don't have a voltmeter. I don't have a jumper wire, the little jumper wire for testing and shit. Because I've been reading the forums and there's a lot of testing that needs to go involved. Like, I'm not hearing the relay, either one of the relays clicking, not the new one, not the old one. Like nothing. I checked the fuses. Fuses is straight. Everything is plugged in. There's nothing that's unplugged. I actually did test the coil. We are getting ignition from the coil and the distributor, so we are actually 100% getting spark. So it's just literally a fuel problem. So at least in terms of electrical, we got spark. So that's that's a major electrical problem I don't need to worry about. All right, guys, figured I'd still keep y'all updated. Tried to do the jumper wire on the end of the fuel pump relay, like the connector side to the harness. Tried the EEC, tried to do a jumper wire test on there. Still not hearing the fuel pump prime or kick on or anything. I tried to trace, there's like this black and white wire that got cut off. I opened it up and put a wire to that and try to ground it to see if that was a ground, because it's supposed to be a black and white ground cable coming out of here. That did nothing. So right now I'm just pretty much stuck. I said I was gonna do the fuel switch, but that's actually gonna take too much work. So probably gonna need to get a voltmeter next and start checking the volts, see what's getting power. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a new fuel pump. Gonna need to get a new fuel pump. I wouldn't be mad if I replaced the fuel pump and it still doesn't work, because at least I know there's a new fuel pump in there. I don't know how old this one is that's in the car. I'm pretty sure it's over 20 years old probably. There's a good chance that it's over 20 years old. So so it could be just a fuel pump. I'm gonna need to wait like a week to go get it. So that's where we're at. It cranks, no start. It's weird because I'm getting fuel to the rail though, like at least to the pressure valve. I press in this the Schroeder valve, I think it's called. And some fuel it comes out, so it's like there's some type of fuel, like there's fuel pressure, there's just no fuel pump kicking on. So there's fuel pressure, so at least the fuel pressure regulator is working like it's supposed to, so there's pressure, but there's just the pump doesn't kick on. So so that's it for now. I'm running out of ideas of what it is, so it's gonna have to just be replacing the fuel pump. But catch y'all for that one.
Hold on, I gotta get this one too. Come on, bro.
I wouldn't be looking at y'all like this if I obviously didn't get it to finally run, as which y'all probably already saw. But there she is. So let me go ahead and break down the nightmare of what my life looked like for the last, I would say, week or two, week and a half, 2 weeks. So we went ahead, got the new starter solenoid on there, relay, because when I put the key in the car, it didn't make no noise, it didn't power up nothing. To come and find out, that needed to be switched out, brand new. Boom, hooked everything up. Now we're getting somewhere. In the midst of me doing that, I found out that I had all of the connections hooked up wrong. I had what I thought one post was supposed to be all negative connections and the other one is going to be positive connections, when really one post is negative to the starter, the other post you load that shit up with positive / accessory connections, right? As y'all know, I previously did a wire tuck. The wire tuck is no longer tucked. I had to cut that shit open because now that we finally had power everything in here, the car can crank. The Fox body was cranking perfectly, but the problem was it wasn't starting. There was no fuel. So now, or at the time I didn't know it was no fuel. So let me go ahead and just disconnect the battery real quick. So at the time I didn't know that it was a fuel pump problem. You just start going through the 3 major things: air, fuel, spark. Obviously the air situation, it's got plenty of air. If anything, it has too much air, which will only affect the car when it's running, not really so much of trying to get it on that first startup. Now checked for spark, got a new ignition coil, ended up switching out the wire set thinking that was bad. So I had found out I got spark from the coil, and then I found out I got spark from the distributor. So that made my life 10 times better. What made it 10 times worse was the fact that, okay, it's a fuel problem because I'm not getting any fuel at all. I'm not hearing no relays clicking. I'm not hearing the fuel pump prime. I'm not hearing anything. So now you got to start going down this plethora, whatever. Let me not try to say big words. You got to go down this huge list of electrical testing, which I am deadly afraid of, which led to the inside of the car looking like a mess again, especially that area. In that area, there's what you call a EEC relay. That relay is what powers between the computer and then to the fuel pump relay under the hood. So I tested the fuel pump relay, ended up learning how to test it. I automatically bought a new one just in case. So So the old one still works, but it has a brand new one, so yeah, I feel a little bit better with it, whatever. The relay works, so now I got me a multimeter. I'm like, alright, bet, let's start checking for voltages and shit. So I found out that the harness itself wasn't getting any 12 volts anywhere. So now I'm like, alright, well, it's kind of narrowing down at least where I need to start chasing and looking and whatever. So then I finally worked up the nerve to say, alright, bet, let's dig for the EEC power relay. That I did, and it wasn't easy, as I had to pull this shit off, and I'm gonna have to put it back. But I'm gonna take a nice couple days break, or a day or two or whatever, take some time to myself and, you know, recuperate, and then start getting the cleaning back. But went up under here, pulled the relay off, tested the old relay for continuity. It has no power whatsoever. Well, alright, cool. I go turn the key on, I start checking the harness itself for power. It's getting 12 volts everywhere that it needs to be. So I bet, cool, we are, you know, we're getting somewhere. We're closing in. We're closing in little by little by little. So then I go under there, start looking for wires, because there was a huge rat nest of wires that I had gotten rid of a year and a half prior. I'm thinking, I did some. Then I'm like, none of the colors are matching up on the diagrams. Nothing is making sense. I don't think I snipped anything. I'm like, there's no way that I did something wrong. I was very confident, like, damn. So I'm getting down to it, and I'm pretty much about to bite the bullet and say, I'm gonna need to buy a fuel pump. But then I found a post that was talking about fusible links. So then, damn, I just heard my knees crack. So then I got back down to here, because I'm like, it's gotta be somewhere here. There's a fusible link in here somewhere that's not getting any power. And there's something about a yellow one, because I remember there being a yellow one, a yellow dominant wire to the EEC relay. I see this wire, I slice it open a little bit because it's after the fusible link. You don't want to test before, you always want to test after. Put the key in, battery hooked up, you got your negative probe on the battery terminal, negative battery terminal, and then with the positive, I got 12 volts here. And then the its friend, the black and orange wire right there, I tested, it had 12 volts. But then there was a second yellow wire, and I was like, oh no, wait, this is the main one. So the other one that I'm talking about is, they're all mixed up. So the other yellow wire was this one. So that one was good from the get-go, but then I test this one and it didn't work. I had it grounded over here with another ground connection. So something inside of me looked there, and then looked there, I looked there, and then I looked there. I said, you know what, for shits and giggles, for literally shits and giggles, let me hook this up to the accessory port on the starter relay. Because when I had my friend come over, you know, I tested the clicking on the EEC relay. I turned the key, I held my hand on the relay, it clicks, okay, cool, that works, everything's powering up, everything's working like it's supposed to. I had my boy go over there, I say, yo, hold on to the relay, I'm gonna turn the key, let me know if you feel a click, you hear a buzz, whatever. You're supposed to hear and feel something, you're gonna know it, trust me. He say, nah, I don't hear nothing. I test this, and then I finally say, you know what, let me fix this, let me hook this up on the post. No shit, as soon as I put that on the power post, on the accessory post, things started clicking, but the fuel pump relay wasn't plugged in. So the relay wasn't plugged in. So I said, yo bro, put the relay in right now. He puts it in, hop in the car, I turn the key, and I'll show you guys right now. This is exactly what you should hear on your Mustang, on your 1992. That's what I got on a 92 Mustang. So this is what, so that's what you should be hearing. It's a dominant prime in the back. Well, the relay clicks, you know, to be honest, that EEC one is kind of like, it was a low click, you know, it's not that dominant, but all the other ones started doing it. And then yeah guys, so we finally got her to start. This video is gonna be a long video, and I'm gonna need to edit weeks, months of footage, but it's gonna be one big video leading up to the first startup, because it's done. We got it started, it's done. So now any videos going forward is gonna pretty much just be, you know, getting the little things done. I have to get the power switch for the electric fans. I have to fab up the dump pipe. I have to start doing a little bit of heat wrapping on things. You know, finish everything out, get the EGR block off. You know, start finally putting everything back together little by little by little and cleaning it up now that it starts. So now I have to really start tidying up all the, you know, the loose ends that I can now, and make sure. Alright, but we finally did it, guys. We hit the 6-month mark. I gave myself 6 months and we finally hit it. I'm like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I am let me see if I can just put y'all up on here. I can just like talk to y'all for a second. I am like lost for words. There's just like this huge weight like lifted off my shoulders. I'm very proud of myself. I did not give up. I did everything I possibly could to get it going, to figure out the situation, to deep dive. You know, I want to thank my friends who I contacted for advice and help. There, you know, I had people on standby pretty much that I could have you know, throw the towel in, wave the white flag and say, you know what, I give up. I need somebody who's good with this. But I decided to give myself that challenge of, no, this is your car, this is your build, this is who you claim to be, right? So figure it out, because it had, you know, and one of my friends, he told me, he said, it's gonna be something so stupid, bro, it's gonna be something so petty. He's like, just, you know, you'll figure it out, you'll find it. So big shout out to him for pretty much always having faith and giving me the, you know, the reassurance in the mind, like it's there. You just got to give yourself time. I had to walk away. I had to, you know, my daughter's first birthday party was yesterday. Her first birthday party, because she turned 1 year old. I decided to put the Mustang to the side and just completely focus on that, so that I can, when I come back to the Mustang, which I was able to today with another friend of mine, we was able to figure it out quick. One stop to AutoZone later, and about, I would say, 3 hours of working on the car. Like we were at it for like a good, I was at it for like a good 3 hours. And it's like, yo, it came out like, it's perfect. This is so awesome. Like I said, I'm a hella lost for words. I'm so excited. Like, it's done. Like, I got it going, it started. Now it's just making sure that when it runs, I don't break it. So that's just gonna be the main thing right now. When it runs, don't break it. But I just want to say thank you to everybody watching all the videos still. We just gained a ton of subscribers by the time that I dropped this video. We are almost at 500. Recording this right now, we're probably somewhere like 430, almost 440. We are on our way up. The car's back up and running, so now the content coming out now is gonna be dope. Now it's just all about getting the Mustang put together. Now we're done. She's done being torn apart, you know, for the most part. All the testing, I gotta rewrap the wiring, you know, start cleaning things up. Now I think this is the process where I'm gonna enjoy it the most, and make sure if I didn't take my time before, I'm really taking my time now. And then I'll probably make a separate video somewhere down the line to tell y'all the importance of this Mustang. Pretty sure I never gave a history lesson on this car. Nobody on my channel really knows, man. Nobody on my social media at all really knows the importance and the depth of this car. Here we are.